Now, Family Research Council, Tony Perkins. And Tony, you actually have a home that in that area that was damaged. Some are saying that this visit by President Obama is too little, too late.
Well, I'm glad he's coming. I think it will continue to bring attention to the widespread devastation here. I do think as the leader of the country that he should have cut his vacation short and come down here earlier. I am very grateful that Donald Trump did, because I don't even think we'd be having this conversation had Donald Trump and Mike Pence not come here last Friday. They came to our church, visited with the volunteers, some of those that are seeking relief, and then toured in the devastated neighborhoods, and were astounded by just how widespread and how really total the devastation was. And so for that reason, I think that challenged the president to come down here.
You know, there's no doubt that this, the events that have happened down there and the way it's unfolded, I think it's caught a lot of people flat-footed because we didn't have a massive storm per se that came in. It wasn't levees didn't break. And I do agree. Right. I think the media was sort of deaf on this. And of course, it's in Louisiana where, let's face it, you know, the media capitals in New York and Los Angeles just kind of ignored the middle part of the country. But having said that, are you happy with the initial response from the federal government itself? Has FEMA and other agencies, have they stepped up quick enough so far?
I really can't answer that because I've not seen them. I've not talked to them. I've not had, other than members of Congress who are friends of mine who have checked in with us. I've not spoken to any government officials. All of our response has been faith-based, citizen to citizen. I mean, I've had calls from pastors and churches across the nation sending in relief workers, volunteers, sending money to help feed people. We're feeding 1,000 people a day a hot meal, which they'd say, well, what's that? Well, when you don't have any appliances, you don't have a home to live in, a hot meal goes a long way. And all of this is faith-based driven. There's no, in terms of our operation, all the clean out that Samaritan's Purse is doing, that was one of the first places I called, was Franklin Graham. Within 48 hours, they were set up on our church parking lot, helping people pull out their waterlogged belongings. So I can't really speak to the response of the government. I've not heard from them. Maybe sometime they'll get up to checking in with us. Our response has all been from the faith-based and neighborhoods, right. Neighbor helping neighbor. Right. That's how it, and I think that might be why it didn't get a whole lot of attention. We were calling Washington for help. We were getting in our boats and going and rescuing neighbors. We were taking them in our homes. We were feeding them. But there comes a point we need the focus, and that, fortunately, is what's happened with these visits. Yeah, you know, it's amazing you say that. Everyone's talked about the Cajun Navy, for instance, and all of the help, neighbor helping neighbor and faith-based organizations. But this is beyond the scope of faith-based organizations, to your point. Do you think President Obama, once he gets down there, once he sees the devastation, will understand what he's missed and maybe somehow make the appropriate moves? Because right now there's a lot of anxiety about the fact that there are limitations and caps on the programs that are right now available. Yes, I think so, because everyone I've spoken to, Sean Hannity was down here yesterday. He did his program from our church, and I invite you, Charles, to come down. You can do your program from our church as well. I would love to. We'd love to have you. And when people tour the neighborhoods and they see these things, they're shocked, because pictures just cannot convey the extent of this damage. So I know the president is a compassionate person. I may not agree with him politically, but I know he is going to be touched by what he sees down here. And my hope, Charles, is that the elderly, those who have everything they had was invested in their homes, and it's all gone. 80% of the people had no flood insurance. That those are the ones that are prioritized. I mean, we're going to be able to rebuild our home. We're young enough. We're able to. I got 5 kids. I'm going to work them hard. We're going to rebuild our home. But there are others that don't have that ability, and so that's where I'm hoping the president will put his priority on those who need the government's help the most. But yes, I again want to emphasize, Charles, yes, it's beyond the scope of faith-based, but I am so encouraged by what I see from Americans across this country reaching out and helping their fellow Americans. And I believe this is good when we care about our nation in such a tangible way. Tony Perkins, I agree with you 1,000%. And you know what? I might surprise you and show up sooner rather than later. I appreciate the offer. Thank you very much, and God bless.